Welcome to this explainer. Okay, picture this. You're staring at a sink full of your new roommate's crusty dishes, and you can literally feel your blood pressure spiking. Or, maybe you felt that sudden wave of panic when a coworker subtly throws you under the bus in a meeting. Sound familiar? Today, we are unpacking some incredibly vital insights from Paula Williams' book, The Drama-Free Guide to Life. If you're a young adult just stepping into your first truly independent social circles, like navigating new living situations, settling into your first postgrad job, or figuring out completely new dynamics with friends, this is exactly what you need. We're going to break down the exact architecture of conflict and character. It's really about figuring out how to build emotional maturity and bulletproof self-respect in environments where, frankly, you no longer have a safety net. So let's just jump right in and dismantle a massive myth right off the bat. Conflict is simply an unavoidable part of life. You're absolutely going to disagree with roommates about chores, and you'll definitely bump heads with colleagues. But drama? Drama is 100% optional. It's like the messy reality TV show nobody actually signed up for. We so often conflate the two, assuming that just because we have a disagreement, it has to turn into this huge, draining ordeal. But Williams separates them perfectly. You can absolutely navigate the conflict without ever inviting the drama.
Which brings us to a concept that really flips the script. Peace is not avoiding conflict. When you're in a new environment, say a cramped dorm room or a fresh office space, society subtly conditions us to think that keeping the peace means staying quiet. It means people-pleasing, right? Swallowing your irritation when someone consistently oversteps your space. But Williams argues forcefully that sweeping things under the rug isn't peace at all. Actually, scratch that. It's just delayed resentment. True peace is never, ever about avoidance.
Well, if it's not avoidance, how does Williams redefine peace entirely? She says peace is simply knowing who you are during conflict. This is such a massive shift in perspective. Peace isn't some external utopian state where everyone's holding hands and agreeing. No, it's an internal anchor. It's about your emotional maturity and your self-respect remaining completely intact, regardless of the chaos happening around you. If you know your values and hold your ground calmly, you are at peace even in the dead center of an argument. Moving into Section 2, Steps to True Peace, or as she calls it, the architecture of character. So, here is the exact toolkit for handling these tricky new social circles. Speaking honestly and listening carefully, that's your baseline standard communication. But the absolute magic happens when you set boundaries and refuse to tolerate harmful behavior. These are your ultimate tools for emotional maturity. And hey, a quick aside on boundaries. Setting one isn't about being mean. It's basically a highly effective three-step dance. You state the behavior clearly, express your need, and enforce a consequence if the line is crossed. It's about taking total responsibility for your well-being, owning your own mistakes gracefully, and offering forgiveness without ever becoming a doormat. And you've got to keep those steps in mind because a difficult conversation is fundamentally an opportunity. Instead of dreading that awkward chat where you tell your coworker you absolutely cannot cover their shift again, view it as a real-time stress test for those boundaries and that self-respect you're trying to build. You can't grow into an emotionally mature adult in a vacuum. You actively need these moments of friction to practice who you want to be out in the real world. Now, as you actually start applying these tools out in the wild, please let yourself off the hook. Throw out the idea of perfection. You're absolutely gonna mess up. You might lose your temper one day or accidentally fall back into old people-pleasing habits the next, and that's totally okay. What matters is progress, taken one conversation at a time. Building character and learning to navigate conflict without the drama is a muscle. You just have to focus on maintaining forward momentum.
All right, let's wrap this up with your final reflection, integrating the lessons.
For the rest of this explainer, we're turning this into a guided, interactive mini workshop based directly on Williams' final reflection prompts. I want you to ask yourself this directly and literally fill in the blank. As you navigate your newfound independence, what are the defining character traits of the person you are striving to be? Do you want to be someone who's unflappable under pressure? Someone fiercely loyal but undeniably firm in their boundaries? Define that future version of yourself right now. You have to know the exact destination to properly chart the course, right? Next up, let's look at what you already bring to the table. Identify the natural emotional tools you already possess. Are you a great listener? Are you naturally empathetic when tensions in the room start to spike? Maybe your superpower is that you just never raise your voice. Recognize your baseline strengths today so you can consciously lean on them when you feel that internal anchor getting tested. Okay, this is where you need to be brutally honest with yourself. What is the toxic pattern or avoidance tactic you absolutely need to leave behind? Is it giving people the silent treatment? Is it venting to a third party instead of talking to the person you're actually mad at? Which, spoiler alert, is the literal definition of creating drama. Identify that one specific habit blocking your emotional maturity and commit to dropping it. Now apply it to your current life. Picture the specific person whose name popping up on your phone screen gives you that little knot in your stomach. Pinpoint exactly where you can apply William's steps to mend or strengthen this connection. How can speaking honestly, setting a firm three-step boundary, or maybe finally offering forgiveness transform the specific dynamic from a source of endless drama into a source of real peace? Take a slow, deep breath and synthesize everything we've just covered. Distill it all down. What is the single most impactful takeaway from the author's framework for your own journey into adulthood? For a lot of folks, it's that profound realization that peace is an internal state of deep self-knowledge, not just a quiet room where nobody happens to be fighting. What is that core realization for you? And I'm going to leave you with this final, rock-solid commitment statement to fill out for yourself. As you step out into the world and build your independent life, what will you choose to anchor your self-respect? Will you handle conflict with brutal honesty because you value transparency? Will you handle it with firm boundaries because you fiercely respect your own energy? Fill in these blanks for yourself, because at the end of the day, if true peace isn't the absence of conflict, but the presence of your true character, who are you going to choose to be the next time someone crosses your line?